been well over a year of the COVID-19 pandemic, and in this era frequented by lockdowns and travel restrictions, masks have been the new normal. Center for Disease Control (CDC) recommends using a mask while social distancing as effective methods to prevent the spread of COVID-19 virus. But how do masks help restrict the spread of the virus? There are so many varieties of masks available, and which one among them suits you the most? These are some questions which are asked quite often. We had these questions as well, so we teamed up to find answers. We use simple flow visualization techniques, Schlieren and planar laser light scattering to visualize the airflow and droplet transport through different kinds of masks available in the market.
Schlieren imaging is a flow visualization technique which can show the hidden world of air around us. It is based on the refractive properties of light as it travels through air with strong gradients in temperature and density. When light passes through air that is warmer than the surrounding air, it refracts. You can see this effect on hot days as the shimmering over roads at a distance. The Schlieren technique greatly magnifies this effect, making even tiny changes visible, such as the heat rising from human skin or the air coming out of your nose. This inexpensive technique has been extensively used in the aerospace sector to visualize shock waves from airplanes and to determine the composition of gases. The setup comprises of a parabolic mirror, a point source of light, a razor blade, and a camera. This parabolic mirror is part of a huge spherical shell which is centered at the center of curvature. If we place a light source at the center of curvature, then all the light will be focused back at the same point. This is called a real image. We partially block this real image from entering the camera using the edge of a blade. Now, if there is a parcel of hot air between the light source and the mirror, the light refracts differently. This is because hot air is less dense than the air at room temperature. This density difference causes the light to bend and it travels a different path. Some of the light rays which traveled unobstructed would bend and now be obstructed by the edge of the blade, while some of the obstructed rays would now travel unhindered to the camera. This will create dark and bright regions in the image, revealing the flow pattern. This is the Schlieren setup we are using. To the left, we have 12-inch diameter parabolic mirror, which is telescopic grade and has a focal length of 1.5 meters. And on its right are the 4 masks that we are going to test today. At exactly 3 meters from the mirror, we have our point light source made of white LED light on a custom circuit board. The LED light has been painted black to make it a point source of light. And next to it is the sharp edge of the razor blade, which is partially blocking the light from entering the camera. You can see the real image of LED forming at the center of curvature, which is being obstructed by the blade. And then there's the setup for real-time visualization of the results. Now let's jump to the results. We can clearly see the effect of mask in redirecting the airflow while breathing and talking. Mask is effective in reducing momentum of the air and possibly preventing droplets from being carried far. All masks alter the airflow to varying degrees depending on the quality of the fabric and number of layers. A mask with larger pores in the fabric, such as a gator mask, would easily let air through, while a multi-layer mask like N95 would provide higher resistance and will better diffuse the momentum of the air. However, the efficiency of a mask is primarily dependent on its fit. A poor fitted mask would let air pass through the gaps and would be ineffective in protecting you and others. But COVID-19 spreads through respiratory droplets which travel with the air we breathe. Let's find out how masks are effective in preventing spread of such droplets.
Now, COVID-19 virus particle, by itself is really small. Each particle can be as small as 100 nanometer in diameter. However, in ambient air, we seldom find this virus by itself. Rather, it's always trapped inside some kind of aerosol droplet. Now, this can be your saliva or mucus, which is released when you sneeze, cough, talk, or even while breathing. Now, using planar light scattering setup, we can visualize this aerosol flow through different masks.
As an experimentalist, we seek for better methods of visualizing the transport of aerosols, and what we found as a solution in our lab was the laser light scattering. So how can laser help us to better observe the trajectories of aerosol while it is almost impossible to see that with our bare eyes? So we'll explain more with an experiment setup. You can see a green light coming out from the laser, which becomes a sheet, a plane of light after passing the lens. This plane would be our target region where all trajectories of aerosol would be visualized. So we place the center of the mouth and nose of the mannequin at this plane that laser shed, having different types of mask covering in its face. To generate breathing motion, we used aerosol generator to blow air into the nose of the sculpture and observed how aerosols are transported after coming out from the nose and passing the mask. And here is what we observed.
This is our control experiment. We can see a clear, unobstructed aerosol flow through the nose and mouth of the mannequin. We see the aerosol particles travel a considerable distance before going out of the plane of laser sheet. Face masks act as a barrier and prevents your respiratory droplets from reaching others, and also it redirects your aerosol flow, thus protecting those around you. Now in the market, there are different types of masks available, and they differ in their performance with respect to their filtration efficiency and breathability. We placed 4 different masks over the mannequin and repeated our experiment. We observed almost no particle penetration through the N95 mask. The disposable surgical mask allowed some particles to penetrate, which we mainly attribute to the poor fit of the mask. In cotton mask, we observed that the particles escaped both through the edges as well as through the fabric, which could suggest lower filtration efficiency and poorer fit of the mask. The gaiter mask which we tested was made from a very thin fabric, and we observed most of the particles easily penetrated through the mask with a very slight redirection in the overall aerosol flow.
We used 2 simple flow visualization techniques, Shuren and planar laser light scattering, to see how aerosols are dispersing in air after coming out from our nose and mouth and passing through different types of masks that we commonly wear. I hope our study was helpful for you to decide which mask would be most suitable for you or need, depending on your personal circumstances and thoughts. But we do want to emphasize here, based on our quick study, that having masks on can really help block the dispersal of droplets that comes out from your nose and mouth. So what should we do? Let's do our part to slow down the COVID, wear masks.